So, His Grace Balaram Prasad Prabhu is here. I don't see him. So, for those of you who are new here, our program is, at this point, we will have like a 45 minutes class by His Grace Balaram Prasad Prabhu. I don't see him here today. So until he comes, I think we will request some kirtan. That will be very nice. Today, the topic of the class is glories of Srivas Thakur. Glories of Srivas Thakur. So, as I said, can you please leave a little space in front of Srila Prabhupada without turning your back? So, leave some space there and create a space in the middle so you can move that way and this way. It will be wonderful. So, I think until Prabhu comes, you can have a kirtan. Thank you so much.
Yes, Prabhu. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhav Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Radha Madhav ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Welcome to the Sunday Feast. Sorry, I was a little late. It's a disappearance of Srivas Thakur. So that's why the topic came as, let's talk about Srivas Thakur. It's important because this was on 23rd. It's coming in next week. Most of us know about Panchatattva, the two Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and associates, but particularly Srivas Thakur, not many people know. So we thought maybe I think this is the good time to speak and discuss about Srivas Thakur. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpaturo Bhyascha Krupasindubhyevacha Patita Nama Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lamgayate Girim Yatkrupatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dyanataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Shri Advaita Jaya Shri. Oh, do you know this song? How many people know this song? Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So I will be speaking on Srivas Thakur as we discussed. How many people know here who is Srivas Thakur? Anybody knows? You know, right? Of course, few people know. How many people don't know about Srivas Thakur? Raise your hands. Okay, Haribol. How many people know about Narada Muni? Narada Muni, everybody knows. So, 500 years ago, Narada Muni appeared as Srivas Thakur. So Srivas Thakur is none other than Narada Muni. So as I said, we discussed many lectures here about Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Advaita, Lord Advaita, right? But we haven't discussed much about who is Gadadhar Pandit and who is Srivas Thakur. So if you see Panchatattva, we have Panchatattva picture on there on the altar with the rising hands. All the 5 deities there, rising hands there on the left side. They are actually our lordships. Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Srivas Thakur, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit. So all the 5. They are called Panchatattva. So we'll be discussing a little bit on that. So is the verse called in the text 5 of Chaitanya, one of the verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I just want to discuss few things about what Chaitanya Charitamrita is and who wrote this Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is one person called Kaviraj Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Kavi Raj. What is the meaning of Kavi? Poet. Raj means king. So he is a king of the poets. His name is Krishnadas. His name is Krishnadas, but he is also Kaviraj. That was a title given to him because he had written the scriptures, one of the books called Govinda Lilamrita, which is very sacred, 500 years ago. And then all the Vaishnavas want to understand Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Lord Chaitanya, if people doesn't know here, Lord Chaitanya appeared 500 years ago as one of the Panchatattva deities there on the picture, as I said. He himself, he is Sakshat Krishna, appeared as a devotee of Krishna, So 500 years ago. And there are so many associates of Lord Chaitanya, and Srivas Thakur is one of the associates of Lord Chaitanya. Okay. And so this was there 500 years ago. There are so many pastimes which has been discussed and happened in 500 years ago. But how do we, suppose we are here after 500 years, if there is no Chaitanya Charitamrita, that means we don't know anything about Panchatattva. So that's why Vaishnavas requested Krishnadas asking to write Chaitanya Charitamrita. At age of 97, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is at the age of 97. He was very weak. His eyelids was not opening, not closing. Somebody has to close his eyelids. And then in that situation, they all requested, please write about Lord Chaitanya and his pastimes. He was thinking, I don't know, this is at this age, I don't know what to write. So you please pray for me. Since it's all your desire, all the devotees' desire, I will write something. I'll try. But he was depending on the deity of Sanatana Goswami, which is Radha Madan Mohan deities. So when he went and prayed in front of the deities, the garland fell from Radha Madan Mohan. Then Pujari gave him, Lord has answered your question, so go ahead and start your work on Chaitanya Charitamrita. He thought it's just a coincidence. Maybe I prayed and Lordship gave the garland, Pujari told me something, so it's like that probably. But in the dream, Lord Radha Madan Mohan appeared and he said, don't worry, I'll speak, you write. So I will empower you, you write. Like our Srila Prabhupada has translated Srimad Bhagavatam he also prayed. Whom did he pray? Rupa Goswami. He was praying every day Rupa Goswami. And he came to America and he was depending on his spiritual master. And he also says the same thing. I don't know what I wrote. Krishna wrote through me. Similarly, Chaitanya Charitamrita was written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, but it was spoken by Radhan Madan Mohan. So that was the secret behind it. And now we understand this is that Panchatattva are actually the Lord Chaitanya and his associates. So this book discuss about Panchatattva, but there are their disciples, their associates, their disciple, their associates. Like that comes in Parampara. So this is the first generation, Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is also a second generation, there is also third generation, and goes on. And if you look at the books, there are so many books written in our Vaishnava culture. How many books we can read? Somebody ask, you should read all the books. Is it possible? I don't know. So we focus on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And people want to know more about their associates, their disciples, etc., their pastimes. It's nothing wrong in reading and understanding to get inspired and get encouraged in our devotional service. So, like that, there is one book called Prema Vilas, which Lord Shivas Thakur's pastime has been discussed. So I haven't read that book, but I heard from one of the devotees, and I'm just repeating whatever I heard. Okay, such a beautiful pastime, and a lot of learnings from this pastime. So maybe in another half an hour, how much ever I can cover, at least I can say something. So one verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Panchatattva eka vastu nahi kichu beda, rasa asyavadite tabu viveda vibheda. What does that mean? Spiritually, there are no differences between these 5 tattvas. Tattva means truth. For on the transcendental platform, everything is absolute. Yet, there are also varieties in the spiritual world. And in order to taste these spiritual varieties, one should distinguish between them. Krishna is one, right? Krishna is one. Radharani is also one. But there are so many, Balaram is also one. And there are so many Krishnas. Krishna is one, but how many expansions of Krishna is there? Innumerable expansions. How many people know? Oh, Narsingadev, Ramachandra, they have varieties, right? The varieties are within different rasas. So there are a lot of things to learn. But Panchatattva, likewise, when Lord Chaitanya came, he wants to give the love of Godhead to everyone. So the purpose of Lord Chaitanya coming is not that give Avshirvad, oh, please come, I'll do. No, that's not the one. He came here to spread the love of Godhead, give Krishna Prema to everyone. But he was acting and appeared as a devotee of Krishna rather than Krishna himself. So there are Shivas Thakur, his dad, his name is Haladhar Pandit. So by the way, today is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all. Haladhar Pandit was from the place called Srihatta. He moved from Srihatta to Kumarhatta, that's all somewhere in West Bengal, Bangladesh, that area. And then he moved to Navadvip. So he had 5 children. One is Nalini, Sriram, and then Srivas, Srinidhi, and Sripati. So there are 5. Srivas is the one which we are going to discuss, but his brother Sriram Thakur, who was he? If you hear the pastime of Mrughari, the person who was a hunter, he used to kill a lot of animals half kill, not fully kill, just half kill. That time, Narada Muni appeared there and he was asking that Mrghari, why are you killing this, you know, innocent animals? And not even just killing, but you're half killing them. Why are you doing this? And because of the mercy of Narada Muni, he changed, Mrghari changed into a devotee. But that happened once. That means Narada Muni gave his association only once. Next time when he came with Parvata Muni. And Parvata Muni, when he came with her, the Mrghari was jumping around. When he was walking, he's jumping around from there, here. And why is he jumping? Parvata Muni was asking Narada Muni, why is he jumping? This guy is jumping like this. And then he came to know there were so many ants. The person who was supposed to kill, half kill and enjoy, he was not killing. He was even very cautious about stepping because there were so many ants on the way. So he was very cautious. He was not even stepping on them. So look at that. Just the association of Narada Muni transformed him. So that Parvata Muni is none other than Sri Ram. So he was born as his brother. And there are prominent, if you look at that book, there are so many pastimes about all them, but I'm not going to go in detail with that. So when Srivas Thakur moved to Navadvip, Advaita Acharya was also there. If I understand, Advaita Acharya was at this, what was his age? Around 60 years. When Lord Chaitanya appeared, Advaita Acharya was 60 years old. And then, how many years did Lord Chaitanya in this? 48. So, around 48 years, Lord Chaitanya was there. So, Advaita Acharya was still there at the time. And after Lord Chaitanya disappeared from this planet, another 40 years, Advaita Acharya lived. That means around 140 years, Advaita Acharya was there in this planet. Srivas Thakur also was at the age of, very senior, just like Advaita Acharya. He was also in Navadvip. And they were friends of Lord Chaitanya's father, who is Jagannath Mishra. So they were all friends together like that. And Lord Chaitanya was still a small boy at the time. Lord Chaitanya was very, very naughty. It's like Krishna's pastime. He's also Lord Chaitanya is also like that. Even though Lord Krishna was took his birth, that means he appeared in Mathura, he enacted his pastimes in Gokula Vrindavan. Similarly, even though Lord Chaitanya was born in Jagannath Mishra's house, he enacted his pastimes in Srivas Thakur's house. You understand what I mean? So that means dad and mom was there. Like Lord Krishna had Vasudeva and Devaki, but he enacted his pastimes where? With Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. Similarly, he did the same thing. He was not even though he was there in the same house, like with Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra, he was for the father and mother, very decent boy. But he was very, very naughty. Every day he goes to so-called school. When he comes back, he takes some ink and spread over his clothes and tell them parents that, oh, I went to school and came. But what did he do? He goes to the Ganges there in the West Bengal, that Navadvip area. Lot of Brahmins will be doing Gayatri. He takes some water and spits on the Brahmins. And they're telling, what is this going on? When they are doing Gayatri, he will come and disturb them in every aspect. So they have to redo the Gayatri again, mantra again. And then looking at this small boy coming and disturbing, all the Brahmins are forget about this. Let me go inside a little bit. So they'll go little deeper, go front, not in the banks. Instead of in the sitting in the bank, they'll go inside the water. Lord Chaitanya, he goes, swims inside the water. He pulls the dhoti, and again he pulls his leg and dhoti also. And then that Brahmin cannot even come out of the water. So that naughty was Lord Chaitanya, who was none other than Lord Krishna. Okay. So he enacted, there are innumerable pastimes like that. So what do we do? Then all these Brahmins, they used to come and complain against Lord Chaitanya. They'll complain to Jagannath Mishra, what is this boy doing every day? And then next day, he goes to somewhere all the girls are assembled. They will be doing a worship of Lord Shiva with all the flowers, paraphernalia. He goes there and tell, what girls, what are you doing? We are worshipping Lord Shiva. Why are you worshipping Lord Shiva? Come and worship my lotus feet. Even Lord Shiva comes and worship my lotus feet. Even his wife also comes and worship my lotus. Even their children also comes and worship my lotus feet. Why are you going to Lord Shiva? Come and just worship my lotus feet. That's what Lord Chaitanya is. Then these girls, Krishna, Krishna, Rama, Rama, Shiva, Shiva, what are you talking about? Don't talk like that. So he used to go, they all used to go and complain Jagannath Mishra, his dad. So how many people, we don't know much about Lord Chaitanya, but this is exactly what Lord Krishna did in Vrindavan. Similar way, Lord Chaitanya was enacting his pastimes in Navadvip area 500 years ago. So then somebody has to complain. Of course, somebody complained. And so Nanda Maharaj never used to do anything. When Krishna comes and talks to Nanda Maharaj, his heart melts. Right? How many times Krishna got so many gopis, all the gopis come and complain about Krishna to their mom, Yashoda. Your child always comes and steals the butter. He does so many things. He feeds the monkeys, so on so forth. But the same thing, they all comes and talks to Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj's heart is melted. Wow. So they used to talk about Krishna Katha every day. Similarly, it's Lord Chaitanya Katha, which is Lord Gauranga's Katha. Similarly, right? It is as similar, as good as Krishna Chaitanya, Lord Krishna's pastimes. It's none other than. It's no difference there. It's the same. So, but it's a higher studies. If you look at Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's like a higher studies. But lot of learning from Lord Chaitanya, which is Chaitanya Charitamrita. So in that way, what happens to do is, what can Jagannath Mishra do? He cannot control his son. He has to have another person to control his son. So there should be an uncle. So his own friend, which is Srivas Thakur, is also aged. He used to tell Srivas Thakur to take care of, can you please take care of my son? Can you give some good words and make him a good boy? That was the pastime going on. So he acted as an uncle. Even our own children, mom is here, anyway. So all children, will they listen to our parents? Or do you listen to your parents? I'm sorry. So we don't listen to our parents much. See, she's telling no. So it's tough. So we have to ask other person, that means an uncle, to tell our children, pacify him. Please cool down, somebody. So like that, Srivas Thakur, as an uncle, is not an uncle, but is a friend. Just like an uncle, he used to come and help Jagannath Mishra in that way that Lord Chaitanya will cool down and he has to listen to him. So these are a little bit not even teenagers, small boys. When he comes to the teenager, Lord Chaitanya, he was a very scholarly person. He talks about so much logic. He talks about so much grammar. And any person comes in front of Lord Chaitanya, nobody can defeat the words of Lord Chaitanya. If somebody speaks something, he will argue and he will make sure Lord Chaitanya will definitely win the argument. And so what happens, if the Lord Chaitanya is walking, people will see Lord Chaitanya, they will run away. Oh, this is enough. I cannot even talk to this guy. I don't want anything to do. So they will run away. So this is happening when he became a teenager. So again another complaint comes to Jagannath Mishra. What is this? Your child, your son is doing like this. Is he mad? Is he crazy? There were so many people complaining. Every day, complain. What do we do if the children, when somebody comes and complains about our parents? It's tough. Either we will make them go to boarding school, which is not possible. Now, so he has to have Srivas Thakur help him, talk to him every day. Then Srivas Thakur meets Lord Chaitanya and he will tell what is the use of grammar, what is the use of logic, what is the use of knowledge if you don't worship Krishna, if there is no devotion in you, if you don't worship, if you don't appreciate Srimad Bhagavatam, if you don't appreciate the devotional services aspects, what is the use of life? No, this is not right. What you are doing is not right. So you are such a small boy, such a wonderful boy, you are very knowledgeable. And what is the use of everything? In Bhagavad Gita, there is a shloka. What is the shloka? Vedaischa sarvam. What is the shloka? Sarvascha shaham hridishan nivisto matta smritir gnanam apohanam cha Vedaischa sarvairahame vedyo Vedanta krutveda videva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, am I to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of Vedas. So Lord Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita says, what is the use of knowledge? What is the use of these Vedas if you don't know, if you don't understand Krishna? Right? It's just like if we have a harmonium, we are more focusing on sa, ri, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. Every day we learn, right? Sa, ri. There are so many keys, and we are thinking about which key helps in which tune and so on and so forth. Every day we learn, and we keep learning every day, and we are doing research every day for 1 year. What this key will do, what this key will do. It's not going to help. When the person uses that harmonium rhythm, and then that automatically comes with a kind of a blissful music in glorifying Krishna, that is the ultimate. It's what is the use of just focusing on a key? It's a waste of time. Similarly, what is the use of knowledge if you don't focus on Krishna? That's what Krishna says. So he's telling, Srivas Thakur is telling, he's telling Krishna himself. Think about it. Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita told this, Sarvasya Chaham. Now, after 500 years before, that means after 4,500 years ago, after Krishna, Srivas Thakur, Narada Muni is again coming and reminding Krishna, what are you doing? What is the use of knowledge? Just be on devotion. Of course, everything comes from Krishna, but he is appearing here as a devotee of Krishna, teaching all of us. It's not for him, teaching all of us. So what is important in our life is devotion. So what is the use of knowledge? There is no use of knowledge. IIT, PhD, permanent head damage, right? The other day somebody was telling. So you can do anything for that matter. I have a lot of knowledge. I have so much money. But if you don't have devotion to Krishna, you might be a millionaire, trillionaire, but you're poor, very poor. Why? You don't have devotion in Krishna. That's like that. So if you don't have devotion in Krishna, it's a waste of life. As simple as that. That's what the scripture says. So most important thing is devotion is for all of us to Krishna is very important. So that's what the lesson Srivas Thakur is teaching. Whom? Us, not Krishna. Okay? From that pastime, we need to learn that just knowledge is important. Okay? But somebody can ask, what is the use of so many books here? It's actually like this. more devotional service if you do, knowledge and detachment will come automatically. So what is the verse from Shrimad Bhagavatam? Anybody remember? Vasudeva Bhagavati. Go ahead. No? So it is Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Gnanam Cha Yad Ahaitukam. If somebody engages himself in the devotional service of Vasudeva, then very quickly this detachment develops. And knowledge also, without knowledge there cannot be detachment. Without knowledge one cannot be detached. And what is that knowledge? Knowledge is that I am not this matter, I am the spirit soul. So what is this knowledge means? I am not the matter, I am the spirit soul. That means I have to become servant of Krishna. Then my life is successful. So if just knowledge is important, but that doesn't mean knowledge is everything. Somebody was telling, if you just chant Hare Krishna, that not telling, even in the scriptures it says, just chant Hare Krishna every day, you don't have to do anything, knowledge comes automatically. That's what Vasudeva Bhagavati says. So somebody can ask a question, Prabhu, then why do we need to read Srimad Bhagavatam? Why do we need to read Bhagavad Gita? I'll just chant my rounds. Yes? But how long? It takes time. It's not just next day I'll get knowledge. It might take 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, depends on how devoted and dedicated we are. And Krishna only, it's not that I am getting that knowledge. Krishna has to reveal in our heart and gives us knowledge based on our degree of surrender. So it might take some time. So we have to have that reading every day, hear every day of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna Katha. In that way, we have the knowledge. And somebody comes, a newcomer comes, say, suppose I know something about Krishna and I'm chanting every day, but I'm not able to talk to that person. I can only say chant Hare Krishna. I cannot give the knowledge about Krishna, right? So that's why we need to read every day, hear every day. In that way, I can preach to that person about the knowledge of Krishna. So it's not just for me. End of the day, we have to preach others. That's important, right? So that's why there is one more saying here. There is one verse from Padyavali. It's called Gnanavlambakau Kechit Karmavalambakau Vayatu Haridasena Pada Traivava Lambakau. In this world, some follow the path of speculative knowledge and some take to karma. What is that? Some take to speculative knowledge, right? And some take to karma or fruitive activities. On the other hand, only take shelter of the wooden sandals of the servant of Bhagwan Hari. See here, speculative knowledge, karma, that is fruitive activities. The other one is just the sandals worn by the devotees of Krishna. So which is important here? Just take the shelter of Vaishnavas, your life is successful. That's what Padyavali Rupa Goswami says. I'm not speaking. This is Padyavali. I'm just repeating what Rupa Goswami says. So for us, all of us, most important is devotion. So there is another aspect. Srila Prabhupada, somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I can chant 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita. You can ask from the one, Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra, to all the way, 700 sloka. And then if you ask me which sloka from 700 to all the way back, I can chant any sloka. Prabhupada said, okay, are you applying that in your life? Did you translate that text, what you heard, and apply in your life? No. Then what's the use? Right? So that means devotion has to be there. Knowledge also has to be there in glorifying Krishna to preach others. Not just, I know 700 slokas. Right? So it's been said, we knows the way. There are three things we can remember this. Knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. What is knows the way? We know the Shastra. Goes the way is a practice. Shows the way is preaching. So we have to know, we have to practice, we have to preach. So these three aspects is very important in following the devotional service. This is what Srivas Thakur is preaching us, teaching us in this pastime. Got it? How many of you know? What is the first one? Knows the way, which is, what does that mean? Shastras. And then goes the way. What does that mean? Practice, follow. And then practice, you said, but preach. We preach what we practice. If you preach and you don't practice, or practice if you don't preach, it is just like half the way. We don't do anything much. So we have to know the Shastra, we have to practice and also preach. Then our life is successful. Even I'm sitting here, I may not practice, I may not preach, or I may practice, but I may not, I may preach, but I may not practice. That's waste of time. Even though I speak something, nothing goes to the heart of anybody. If Prabhupada comes and if he speaks, heart transforms. So that's what very important. Of course, we are all in the purificatory process. So we'll all get there one day. But the same process is same. So the next pastime, if you have 10 minutes maybe. Yeah. So the next pastime I'm thinking about is, there are so many pastimes. Maybe I will talk one more. Deep desire. We should have a deep desire for Krishna. So Srivas Thakur, it's in the Navadvip area. There is, even today if you go Mayapur, the place is called Srivas Angan. It's a house of Srivas Thakur. When Jagannath Mishra passed away, that means Lord Chaitanya's dad passed away, Lord Chaitanya goes to Gaya to offer the Shraddha ceremony. When he goes there, he meets his eternal spiritual master, who is Ishwarapuri. And Ishwarapuri, he gives the seed of bhakti to Lord Chaitanya. Till that time, what he was very naughty, he was very arguing nature, so many things happening for Lord Chaitanya. But after Jagannath Mishra passed away, he met Ishwarapuri in Gaya, and when spiritual master bestowed him the mercy and gave the seed of bhakti, and then he came back, he comes back to the Srivas place, and from that day, every day, with all of his associates, he will do the kirtan in the night, which is party in the night. What do we do? Parties in the night, right? Friday night party, this party, that party we do. But after Chaitanya comes back from Gaya, he will do a lot, everyday party in the night. What kind of party? Kartal, Mridangam, harmonium, all people will associate, in association, they will chant the holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, every day, kirtan every day. It will be like a roaring sound. And even the house walls, Srivas Angan's place, I don't know if it is now, but that time, they had a plantain trees, very auspicious. Mango trees, plantain trees, very auspicious. And in midst of that, the Srivas Angan's place, the Shiva's place is there. And every day it was a disturbance to the neighbors. Somebody is doing some kind of, it's a noise, kirtan. Maybe they are hungry. Throw some food on, open the window, throw them food on. Maybe they are very hungry, they are screaming like that. What is this going on every day? We don't want this to happen. So neighbors were thinking like that. One neighbor comes and talks to Mother Sachi, who is mother of Lord Chaitanya. They start complaining again. What complaint? I think your son was so good in knowledge. He was very, very knowledgeable. I can see a lot of debates. But after going to Gaya and coming back from Gaya, something has happened. See, what happens is in Gaya, even if some people go to Kashi also, right? There are a lot of dead bodies. Like that, in Gaya also, people go and do Shraddha ceremonies. And so maybe there is one of the ghosts has attacked him. And so he is doing some kind of kirtan in the night every day, and he is very mad. All their friends are crazy. I think some ghost has haunted him. So what you do, take some ghee, offer it to Lord Shiva, and give him so that he'll get better. That is one of the neighbor says. Another neighbor says, no, Lord Shiva's nothing happens. You do one thing, you offer the ghee to the Lord Vishnu and apply on his head. He'll be better. It's Narayana Taila, right? So another person comes and say, no, not even that. Maybe you should give coconut water. His body is very hot, maybe heat. Say he will cool down. He will definitely cool down. Give some coconut water. So many people had so many interpretations and about this kirtan. And what happened? Again comes to Srivas Thakur. And Srivas Thakur, what can I do? And then Mother Sachi was very mad. What is going on with my child? Initially, there were so many other complaints. Now it's a different complaint. And he's become mad. What can I do? So Mother Sachi goes to Jagannath Mishra and asks him, what is going on with my son? Can you please help me? What's going on with my son? And Srivas Thakur says, don't worry. Nothing has happened to him. He is just mad after Krishna. His desire, he is completely mad after Krishna, which is not possible to anybody, but Lord Chaitanya is very mad of Krishna. If I get mad, if the same thing happens to me, my life is successful. So he's telling us, all of us to become mad for Krishna. If you become mad for Krishna, our life will be successful. So it's a non-stop chanting whole night, Shiva Sangam. So what do we need to understand from this? We should have a desire to serve Krishna in the devotion service. So it's very, very important to become a devotee of Krishna. And then, what is that? Next one? Desire to serve the Lord. So if you don't have a desire to serve the Lord, there is no intention. Our mind, it's like if I have a desire only, I'll serve. If I don't have a desire, I don't feel like serving. So develop that desire to serve Krishna. Become mad for Krishna. So that's the second lesson we are understanding. In a couple minutes, I'll have another one, which is you have to be desperate for Krishna. How do we become desperate? Pray for Krishna desperately. Lord Chaitanya, this everyday kirtan was happening, and so many enemies were there. For how become enemies? Because somebody is becoming famous, somebody will become envious. And so some people will come and talk to Shiva Sangan. Why are you doing all this chanting? This is Chaturmasya, and Lord Vishnu is sleeping, and you are waking him up. This is not the time to do kirtan, especially in the nights. No, don't even do any kirtan. You are asking Vishnu to wake up. It should not do like that. And some people will come and say, you are disturbing the whole. It's a nuisance. It's a nonsense. We cannot tolerate this sound in the night. And one of them, even that time, in Nawab Hussain Shah was ruling the West Bengal area. And they even complained, Nawab Hussain Shah saying, this person is with a mridangam, with the huge sound, this disturbing, it's a nuisance, public nuisance. So they even complained to Nawab Hussain Shah. You know what happens to that? So he was in fear. So Srivas Thakur, when he came to know all this, he had a Narsingha Saligram. He was sincerely praying, Lord Narsingha. He had the Saligram in his house. He was praying sincerely. Then what happened? Lord Chaitanya, he was in the banks of Ganga. The moment he was praying desperately, Lord Chaitanya comes running and he knocks at the door of Srivas Thakur's house. And he was already in fear. When he was somebody knocking, he was thinking the soldiers came. Maybe he's going to arrest me. I don't know what to do. But he said, don't worry. I am here. Just open the door. I am here to protect you. Oh my God, what's going on? I don't understand. Finally, Lord Chaitanya kicked the door and he came inside. And he said, you're asking me, you're praying for Narsingadev. I am here. I am Narsingadev. Don't worry, I'll protect you. Previous day, Lord Chaitanya preached him. None of the jivas will become God. And now what is he? He's telling now he is Narsingadev. How can he become Narsingadev? And he's thinking, what's wrong with this? Lord Chaitanya, what's going on with this? Then finally, he became reddish. He actually appeared, he showed him the form of Lord Narsingadev in the form of reddish. And then he showed, he tell him call all your relatives, all your friends. It's a big family. So all the family came. And Lord Chaitanya spread his hand and touched everybody's head. And then he gave Krishna Prema to everyone. So what does that mean? He said, I'll protect you, everyone, and also give the Krishna Prema. So Lord Chaitanya, he came here to spread the love of Godhead. If you actually just pray Narsingadev, Narsingadev can protect you, but he will not give you love of Godhead. Okay? But Lord Chaitanya, he can protect you and also give the love of Godhead. So, and from this pastime, we will understand, if you pray Lord Chaitanya desperately, he will just not protect you, he will also give you Krishna Prema, love of Godhead, so that he will all become devotees of Krishna, develop love of Krishna. I think I'll stop here. Thank you very much for all your time and patience. Srivas Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Please give a big hand. Wonderful class. I have a list of announcements today. Today is Father's Day. First of all, let me wish you all a wonderful Father's Day. Give them a big Father's Day. And of all the fathers, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the father of all fathers. And so, keeping that in mind, we celebrate our Father's Day. Is Lakshmi Kanta Prabhu here? So, this has now become our routine during Sunday feast. There are many devotees who serve in this temple, and many are doing non-stop service, and none of us, majority of the people who come here don't know who they are. So today I wanted to recognize His Grace Lakshmi Kanta Prabhu. Can you please come here for a moment? Yes. So a temple does not function without the devotees, The temple is not just Pujari doing some service on the altar. The temple has got so many different services, and it is devotees like Lakshmi Kanta Prabhu who run this temple. Just a few words about him. Lakshmi Kanta Prabhu came across about Krishna consciousness in India, right? It was in IIT Madras, Vaishak, and that was how many years ago? 20 plus, right? More than 20 years ago, when His Holiness Romapada Swami Maharaj used to go to Vaishak, and he met Maharaj and other devotees, and he became a devotee. And after so many years, and after coming here and serving in Naperville Temple, Lakshmi Kanta Prabhu took spiritual initiation, Harinam Diksha, from His Holiness Romapada Swami Maharaj. And even before initiation, he was already a practicing devotee, and he continued his practice. And one of his main services, actually, he and his wife and 2 children live here in Naperville, and he does so many services. He's a wonderful devotee. One of his main services is organizing Srimad Bhagavatam classes. So every day morning we have Srimad Bhagavatam class going online, and it requires a lot of coordination. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of that. If you want to know more about it, you can contact Lakshmikanta Prabhu. Many times we get this question from people: what is the purpose of building a temple? There are so many temples already there. So what is, in which way you stand out? What is so unique about ISKCON Temple? What is so unique about ISKCON Temple is the asset that our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, has given to us. He translated many Vedic scriptures into English so that ordinary people like us can has the ability to read, because we are not Sanskrit scholars. So we can read English, and so because Srila Prabhupada translated all the books, we are able to read. Now, all of you know that we do a lot of book distribution based on the instructions from Srila Prabhupada. Book distributed is not good enough, because sometimes you get a book and you keep it and then you never even look at it. So to facilitate the study of the scriptures, devotees like Lakshmikanta Prabhu, they go out, not only distribute books, but also organize these classes like Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita discussion groups. There are many such programs in this community, and any one of you desiring to participate, you please contact him. And he and his wife and 2 little children, they go every week to Patel Brothers and distribute many of Srila Prabhupada's books also. Please give him a big hand. Thank you so much for everything that you do, Prabhu, and we really, really appreciate your presence here. This is not just one devotee. Like, you will be hearing from me about many devotees you may not even think or recognize, because they are not standing out here every Sunday, announcing and all that. I stand in front of you, maybe you know me, but there are many devotees like this who are the backbone of this temple, and so I will be talking about them going forward. So just wait there, okay, don't go away. So today's Sunday feast is sponsored by Abhay Kumar Prabhu, and Abhay he moved from here to Canada and came back from Canada to back here, and we are so happy to have him. And he is sponsoring. Give it to him. Yeah, just wait, okay? Thank you so much. What is your name? I forgot. Atharv. Abhay's son Atharv is here. So is it his birthday or something? No. So Abhay is just sponsoring the Sunday feast, and he's seeking everybody's prayers and blessings, and his children are wonderful. And here he is to receive the prasadam, and Lakshmikanta Prabhu, you can please give it. Thank you, Atharv. Thank you so very much. Thank you. So if anyone wants to sponsor Sunday feast for whatever celebration you are having, you can please contact Ramdas Prabhu or Abhay Prabhu. Yes. So one next announcement is about His Holiness Romapada Swami Maharaj. He regularly visits us, and this time he is present in Naperville from 21st through 29th of this month. On 25th, we are having a special program by Maharaj here for the general public. The topic he is going to speak is why Krishna consciousness is attractive. And it is a very fundamental question, and you can have a interactive discussion with Maharaj. So we request all of you kindly come on 25th, which is Saturday, morning 11 to 1. We will have Maharaj's question answers, interactive discussion, followed by prasadam, there will be kirtan. So we invite all of you, and you can bring your family and friends or anybody you know. Please come. The details of the program will be sent out tomorrow. And if anyone wants to know anything more, today, Shatarupa is not here, but any one of us can answer your questions. So today's Sunday feast. You know, every Sunday we cook Sunday feast and distribute prasadam. And I'm making an announcement about who are the devotees who prepared Sunday feast. So the cooking team is led by Kathamrita Mataji, and her team members are Radhe, Menaka, Tarin, Arhanya, Shraddha, Elena, and Achyuta Bhava Prabhu, Amalatmana Prabhu, and Pradibha Hudas. And that's the cooking team. That's a lot of people. I don't know how they managed to get into the kitchen. And there is a cleaning team led, there are 4 members there, I think 5. Amalatmana Prabhu, Zach, Rutul, Deepak Chowdhury, and Rutik Prabhu. And serving team, serving is Tejas Prabhu, and pantry management is Umesh Prabhu, and grocery shopping, Shrikant and Umesh Prabhu. Please give them a big hand. One last announcement is about Janmashtami. It is in August, but I'm starting to announce Janmashtami now onwards. We have to have a large preparation for this. There is the deity worship side, and there is the whole festival organization side to this. Sumangala Mataji is not here today, but I'm sure she will be starting to announce. Every year we offer certain number of dresses to their lordships. Their lordships means not only Radha Madhava, Shri Radha Shyamasundar, and going forward, our Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So all the deities will be getting new dresses. And this year we placed order for 5 dresses in Vrindavan. And each dress on an average cost $1,000. And if the dress is already here, Gopal Hari Prabhu, yeah, it has already come. Yeah, so anyone interested in sponsoring deity dresses, it's an average cost of $1,000 per dress. So you can either contact Shyam Prabhu or myself and let us know if you are sponsoring. Thank you so very much. I don't have any announcement. Shyam has something. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much. I see a lot of people came just now. So our program starts every Sunday at 5 o'clock. So Kirtan starts at 5 o'clock. So आप लोग 5 बजे आइए, and very nice Kirtan, and you have the lecture followed by. So 5 o'clock, So, all right. So as Premda Mataji said, one thing that we need a lot of devotees to run the temple. Likewise, we need donation to run the temple. So, with the mercy of Lord, we get a lot of donations. What Premda Mataji announced today about Janmashtami, so dress sponsorship, you can see me, you can sponsor the dress. There are several other opportunities that comes in Janmashtami that you can participate with a small, large donation, whatever you want. Every bit of donation is welcome. So please don't hold yourself. Whatever you want to contribute, please come and see me. But again, we are very, very fortunate that to build such a scale temple, we all are together. So that's one of the things. But then we need money. So today is a very special day as we received some very large donations. So I wanted to announce the person want to keep themselves anonymous. So look at the greatness. First, they write a big check and say, don't tell my name. I want to. This is my service to Krishna, and I don't want to be announced. So first and foremost, we have received a $5,000 from Poonam Kishore family. So they send every year, and this year they gave $5,000. And we received an anonymous donation of a check of $25,000 today, which is very, very rare. Generally, these kind of checks we get once or twice a year. And we're very fortunate that this year in last 2 weeks, we got for 25 each. Let's continue. Maybe next week I want to get a check of $25,000. How about that? Right? If anybody is inspired, please see me. Let's continue. We need a lot of those 25,000 to build this temple. So that's one. The second thing, we also are very fortunate today. One of our devotee, congregation member, Krishna Murari Prabhu, has placed $51,000. So there are many creative ways this donation can come. And what he has done, he has bought a rental property, and he will be ensuring that the rent every month from that property comes to temple. So many different ways, many creative way one can have. You can have your brokerage, you can have stock, you have even Bitcoin if you place. I know it's low, but you can still want to. If you go further low, maybe give it to Krishna. The Krishna at least holds for some time. So likewise, whatever works for you, please. We need again. I'm trying to be creative and trying to entertain whatever way, but we need money to build the temple. Interest rates are going high, so every bit we can get as a donation, we don't have to pay the interest, right? This is a very basic thing. No logic required. So please help me. Please help temple. And this is once in a lifetime opportunity. The $25,000 today we got it. It is for sponsoring Radha Syam Sundar deities. So we had number of slots is booked. And again, we have made a special consideration. Maybe 1 or 2 we can do. But there are many other opportunity you can do. So please come forward. A small, large, all donations, it's all welcome. But with that, I want to thank you. Thank you for coming. Again, come at 5 o'clock. And anything we can do, we'll be more than happy. Please take the darshan, and wonderful prasadam is waiting for all of you. All right? Hare Krishna.